Hi guys, Penny Rose Journals, how you doing? Well, I decided to do a bit of sewing the other day and just because I wanted to. Yeah, sometimes you get that itch to do something. Yeah, so anyway, that morphed into a new journal. Don't even ask me how, it just does. So I will show you my sewing pieces very shortly. That is what I'm going to use to cover this journal. Before that, as you can see here, I have constructed a cover out of an old book. I've removed the spine and replaced it with a piece of lever arch folder because it's really good quality card. And I am now going to cover the front of it with some batting. Now, I got all of this from a lady whose daughter was a quilter. She had garbage bags full of it. It's just the offcuts from the edges of all the batting that they use. She's in a sort of quilt circle or something. I don't know the story behind it, but anyway, she gave me a bag. So I have a lot of it. And I like to put it on the backs, the outside covers of journals that I'm going to cover with fabric because it just gives them that little bit of softness. Because it's all the edge pieces, it's all tatty at the ends, it's quite thin at the very tips there, so I like to layer it so that the two very thin edges overlap. That makes it just as thick as anywhere else on the cover. So and it's a good way to use it up. Saves it from landfill. It's now going to be underneath my book cover. So I am just going to stick these two bits of batting that I've cut sort of roughly to size on the cover here, and then I will trim around the edges. I don't pull it over the edges of my book because I find it makes the corners too bulky. So I just trim it to the same size as my book cover, and then only the fabric goes around the edges of the book cover to the inside. So yeah, anyway, this is all very, very exciting, I'm sure. I'll speed it up because I'm just gluing batting. So I'll see you on the other side of the batting. Okay, that's our batting, and here's our fabric. Now, I've made 2 panels of this. I just felt like sewing together scraps. Don't ask me why. Just was one of those things I needed to do. So I did. This did not make a dent in them at all. If there's anything that I have more of than paper scraps, it's fabric scraps. Anyway, so I made these 2 panels. They are just scrap. I've ironed it to interfacing, and then I covered it with tulle from an old wedding dress, and then just sewed the living daylights out of it. So it's just scrap fabric. Now I made these 2 panels, which, you know, one of them would quite have happily covered this journal, but of course I decided, after having looked at them for a while, that I wanted to do them diagonally, in which case they don't fit the cover, so I'm going to join them down the spine. Yeah, it's just a thing. Just suddenly randomly decided that I wanted the, because all my fabric is basically sewed on horizontal and vertical, and I decided I want it diagonal on the cover. So yeah, there you go. So I'm going to cut these 2 pieces of fabric so that they fit the cover, and then we will get to gluing them down. I think that's about as far as we'll get today. It'll be long enough. And I will actually cover the spine as well with some coffee dyed lace that I have. So yeah, basically the cover will be virtually done. I will probably pop a few more things on it as I go, but for now it starts looking like a book finally. So yeah, the way I put my glue down here, I sort of dob it. I squeeze it continuously and then just dab it down and drag it to another spot, and sort of dab it down, lift it up, move it to another spot, dab it down, lift it up, move it, you know, all around the place, because I find that if I try and glue straight to this batting, the glue doesn't like to come off of the tip of the glue bottle. It prefers to pick up little bits of batting and just stick them to itself. So I find it much easier if I just sort of dab it down and then, you know, sort of drag the string of glue around the place and dab it down again. So anyway, that's just something that I found works for me. I thought I would pass it on just in case you're wondering why it is you have so much trouble gluing on this stuff. So yeah, anyway, that's our first side. That's actually the back. That's going to be the back that's covered, and now I will cover the front, and then we will move on to sorting out the spine. Yeah, it's getting warmer up here this time of day, and my glue begins to erupt from my glue bottle because I haven't closed it. So you'll see me wiping it on the sides where I'm going to glue it anyway periodically, just so that it doesn't run down my glue bottle. I'm using a fair bit of glue anyway, so I'm happy to sort of let it do its thing, and I just wipe it on my book. So yeah, it is a bit of a nuisance. I don't know if it happens to other glues, but the acetone based glues, it always seems to happen when the weather warms up and you're getting towards the bottom of your glue bottle. So that's just the way it is. Right, there's our covers on. I have not glued down the spine yet. I will do that very shortly, but we will leave this for a few moments to dry and make sure it is all secure, and then we will move on. As this is the spine area and will have probably the most strain on it, I want to make sure I've got a good layer of glue down, so I am actually gluing onto the fabric panel rather than trying to get the glue onto the batting. So yeah, I'm having much more success in spreading the glue out quite thickly. Yeah, just so that I know it is properly glued down. I don't want it separating somewhere along the line because it has to open and close. So yes, I will make sure it's thoroughly glued, and then we will move on to the lace. Right, I'm just going to plug up any little residual gaps I decide there are with a bit of glue, just to make sure everything is as stuck down as humanly possible. And then I will stick the lace over those seams, to make sure again it has some extra to stick it down. So yeah, trust me, it is no longer going anywhere. Now this lace that I'm using for the spine, it only just reaches across the spine, the two lengths of it, and that uses up all my lace, that last of that piece of lace. So there's a little bit left. I will use that in the journal somewhere, and something used up. How's that? So yeah, I will use these two pieces. Like I say, they sort of barely reach the edges of the spine, and I like to have a bit of overlap, so I will add a few more pieces of lace to bring it around the sides a little, and then I will cover the seam down the middle with another piece of well, it's not lace. What's it called? I forget what it's called. You'll tell me. I know what it's called. For the life of me, cannot think of the word. Anyway, yeah, I will do that. So once that's done, that's all I'm going to do today. So yeah, I'll come back at the end and say bye. Okay, well I gave that a little time to dry, and this is what she's going to look like. Like I say, I'll probably do more to this cover, but essentially she's together. It's the front cover, the spine, and the back cover. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it today, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I've enjoyed your company as always. I hope you like this new journal. She's going to come together rather quickly, I hope. I haven't made any plans for the inside yet, so yeah, you'll get to see all that as well. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. I will see you again next time. Bye.